They're divorcing their partner because they voted for Trump all over Instagram and TikTok.
Apparently, only 200 people showed up to their women's march.
If they get attacked or bit, that bear will be to blame and that bear will get put down. They don't understand, leave me alone.
This patriarchy that we're living in has conditioned women to be sacrificial.
My body, my choice.
Proposed to her with a $70,000 engagement ring. But since they broke up, he wants his ring back. My Bruce is going to be in Connecticut for 3 days. I need me some playtime.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
So I'm seeing a lot of people saying they're divorcing their partner because they voted for Trump. It's all over Instagram and TikTok.
It's childish.
But my question is, what did you guys discuss in your relationships? How did you not know that your partner was gonna vote for Trump? How do you not know your partner's political views? How do you not know your partner's core values? Why do you have to go through relationship, engagement, marriage, and only realize when you're married and been married for a while that your partner would vote for Trump? It's a little weird. What do you guys discuss? What do you guys talk about in your relationships?
Well, it's like that because the woman usually doesn't care how the man feels. She doesn't talk to the man. And then after years of doing that, then she files for divorce. Now, this is what's wrong with a lot of women, especially that are liberals. This happens to liberal women all the time. And it's funny.
It's really funny to me that all of these people are so feminist, they're so pro-woman, until you disagree with them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Mark Cuban just said that no strong, intelligent women support Trump. Which, in my opinion, is pretty sexist and misogynistic coming from this pro-woman, pro-feminist guy. And also, Mark, have you literally taken one look at Trump's campaign team? He is surrounded by stunning women. He had an amazing female press secretary. Kellyanne Conway was the first woman to successfully run a U.S. presidential campaign. Tulsi Gabbard, who I hope one day will be our first female president, literally left the Democratic Party and now supports him. I don't know, Mark, this just doesn't seem like female empowerment to me.
Trump's campaign was great. He had women support him. Actually, it's wild because they're screaming for B when half of the women that put Trump in office were women. That says a lot, right? Now, what you have to understand is liberals aren't the majority. And it's been proven with this election. It's wild because then these women also had men that were conservative as well and had no idea. It's wild. It shows you where the future's headed for. Disaster.
Apparently, only 200 people showed up to their women's march, according to the New York Times. However, within 1 week, Black Project 2025 has 52,000 members and has just raised over $20,000. This has never been a greater time to have the best organizers on one team for one cause. There has never been a better time to have everybody on the same cause, because when I tell you, Black women know how to organize and put stuff together within a short time and on limited resources and with no help and no support. That is what I am so happy to be a part of. I signed up for Black Project 2025 the first day I seen it. It's moved platforms, but I've signed up as soon as I could because I was like, yes, we're resting, but there are people who are doing the work and who know exactly what needs to be done. And I love it, honestly. I've been hearing so many things about people trying to figure out if they can change their vote and all this and all that. Girl, please. I don't have time. Now, am I doing this right, y'all, with the 2 ponytails for working out? I think the scarf don't need to be tied up like I'm going to bed. Anyway, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna let y'all know how this worked out.
That's wild. Because all over social media, and this is in the mother city, right? New York, the home of the modern woman, the home of the liberal woman. Is it really though? You gotta ask yourself, right? Now she's right. The organizers who set this thing up in a major city like New York, only 200 women show up. That's a problem. It's a problem. And you women are shouting to the mountaintops, but you're not organized.
TikTok. TikTok indeed.
That's why you lost. That's the exact reason why you lost. Questions are supposed to be answered that weren't answered. I've seen it. It was tragic. You lost, and I know why. No organization.
Notice how the men are cornering that bear. Notice how the men are making that bear feel uncomfortable. Notice how those men are harassing and taking videos of that bear even though it clearly doesn't want them to be there. Notice how those men, if they get attacked or bit, that bear will be to blame and that bear will get put down because those men don't understand no. They don't understand leave me alone. They don't understand boundaries. Notice how in the Man v. Bear, men didn't understand that men are the predators and make
Stop it. Get some help.
everyone else around them feel uncomfortable, including the bears. Notice how the men think it's funny to put everyone else's lives at risk so that they can laugh and joke and get a video because everything's a joke until they're on the receiving end.
Man, this is tragic. Why is it tragic? Because that's the boys being boys. Do you know what guys do? And those guys probably did it. It's nighttime. Seems like a couple of those guys probably was drinking, had a night on the town, chilling with your boy. Oh, there goes a bear. Come on now. I would be playing with the bear. I'm honest. I'm not right now, but if I was drinking, what better fun to have? Go play with the bear. You know, get footage of the bear tearing Johnny's back off. You know, the bear gets put down. What do you care? You don't care. All you really care about is making sure your cup is full and complaining, because that's all they're doing now with these women marches. Complaining. It's sad.
Mental state.
I love this so much because this is the exact reason why Trump won the presidency. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to, but it is liberal narcissism like this, which is why Trump is going to be president again.
Imagine what this world would look like if men focused their actual attention on the people who actually voted for Trump instead of getting involved in everybody else's business. And the people who actually voted for Trump are men, white men specifically. So why am I seeing so many leftist men going after white women, going after every other demographic except their own people? I'm not going to give white women too much credit because they still have a lot of work to do, but I've been seeing way more posts about white women talking about the reckoning that they have to face about their own community than I have about men facing that reckoning amongst themselves. Every year, men have a crisis of being radicalized to the right. White men have no business telling anybody else what they should be doing about their political ethos when their own house is not clean. Y'all are failing at pulling white men out of the right and into the left where they should be because most working class men voted for Trump. That is a failure of recruitment. You get an F at getting people on our side. Yet you are so smugly calling out everybody else that you forget to look in the mirror at your own community. Look at you! But don't worry, I have a business idea that will help y'all stay busy so that you stop going after other people instead of your own community. It's called a de-radicalization hotline, and all you have to do is pass off your phone number to every non-white person in your life so that when they're confronted by a right-winger, a Trump supporter, somebody who's trying to convince them that their rights are not valid Instead of them engaging with that person, they call you so that you can do that labor. You can take them out to coffee, you can take them out to, I don't know, whatever men do, whatever, I don't know. The point is that you take on the labor of explaining to right-wing white men why other people deserve their humanity, instead of that bigotry spilling onto the victims of those white men. So if y'all got busy with that, I think it would solve a lot of issues. Because the thing is, as valid as some of your critiques in that video were, it's also thinly veiled misogyny, and you know that. Let's not pretend.
See, the problem with these women, right? And also the men that are part of that party and a part of what's going on right now, they make everything such a big deal. And you have to understand what these men are being told. These men are being told by a man logic. He's talking logic to people. I'm going to help you. These food prices are high. I'm going to help get them lower. By the second quarter, I'm going to get this price down. Guys want to hear that. Now, the arguments that the right argued were great arguments, but she used that he was a dirtbag to bring him down and lost. That never wins. Bashing someone's character, everyone knows he's a dirtbag. Seriously. They like that he's a dirtbag. He's one with the people. He comes across human. And then he's giving good promises. When asked the same questions, all I heard was fumbling. Seriously. When I seen things. And it's bad. Now, you can't change the mind of a man thinking with logic. Seriously. Because a lot of it's logic. It's logic going against a fairy tale. It's sad. They don't really see it. It's simple. It's simple and plain. And it's a reason why you lost. For this reason right here. You see how you lose and then you're striking out everybody? That's why you lost.
This patriarchy that we're living in has conditioned women to be sacrificial, to suffer, to put the needs of others before their own, to sacrifice their goals and dreams to raise a family, to manage the household. And when they do it, it is often overlooked, under-recognized, underappreciated, undercompensated. And we're expected to bend over our backs to stay loyal to men that don't make enough, that don't give enough, to jobs that don't pay enough, that don't recognize our talents and gifts. And when we abandon those situations to do better for ourselves, we are called selfish. You would be surprised that the people who are judging these women for making good life choices and for leveling up their situations are not just men, they're also women. Women with internalized misogyny who don't recognize the irony of their judgment. The ones that think feminism is a convenient concept and they will support it for as long as it doesn't encroach on their assets, resources, benefits that they were given by the patriarchy. So to my girls who feel bad for disappointing people, angering people because they want to do better for themselves, don't. And usually the people who are trying to make you feel bad for making better decisions are the ones with lives you wouldn't want to trade with. The ones who are so brainwashed by the patriarchy that they don't have the courage, the wherewithal to do better for themselves. So bottom line is, don't feel bad, let them talk, because you are paying your bills, not them.
Yeah, you are paying your bills. And these same women are fighting everyone. Everyone's up for a fight. Trad wives, they fought them. Men continue to fight them. The government still fighting them. Somebody else, the police, still fighting them. Fighting everybody. And you got to understand something. What happened? Your campaigns that you're pushing, it didn't appease the men at all. Your propaganda you're pushing, it doesn't appease the men. The only men you have on your side are men that have chopped it off and given it to a woman in their hands and said, throw it in the garbage because you probably don't need it. And then the same situation is going to keep happening. These same women, they claim for beyond, yeah, right. They're still going to be chasing alphas. I give it about a year. And guess what alphas they're going to be chasing? The alphas that are conservative. Those are going to be the guys with the money. Still going to be given give it 6 months to a year. All it's going to go out the window. You're going to see nobody having rallies anymore. People are going to go back to watching Netflix. It's going to happen soon. Give it 6 months to a year. You may have these movements. They may have a couple more marches, but after that, it's all going to die. Because it's convenient right now. It's convenient for the spotlight. It's convenient to put on TikTok. That's why they're doing it.
For my popularity.
It's going to die down. Just like before, they were talking 4B movement a couple of months ago, talking about it against passive bros. It died down. This is going to die down again. Then they're going to look for something else to jump on. Watch. Mark my words. That's going to happen.
We are here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Today is Saturday. What?
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Come out! Come out!
It's for the Harris Walls Walk, National Women's Walk. We are down here, Corpus Christi Bayfront, Oleander Park. If you are in the area, we are about to walk. All these people arriving. Turn this around. Everyone super excited to be here. A vote for Colin Allred, Harris, Walls. Look at this. All the women, all the men, just amazing. Just amazing. The future sits here. Look at this. Come on, Texas. Come on, Corpus.
Okay, ladies, you know how you'll be like, I hate all men, and they'll be like, no, not all men, and you'll be like, yes, all men, and they'll be like, no, but I didn't do anything wrong, and you'll be like, but you're part of a system that holds up the patriarchy and oppresses us, and you don't hold your other men accountable, and I know that because if good men did hold bad men accountable and there weren't that many bad men, then I wouldn't be having this problem to begin with.
Someone to blame.
And even if you are a good guy, it's like picking a poison chocolate out of a box of chocolates because you never know which one is actually going to be hurtful until it's like too late. That's how Black women feel about white women. Okay? And I can hear some of you.
I said with this, all this complaining, drop them all off somewhere, like in Saudi Arabia or something. Let them see real hardship towards women, right? They're going to come back crying with their tails between their legs. Let them see real hardship. They don't know what real hardship is. They're screaming hardship, equality, and they're going to drink the alcohol at nighttime. Go smoke the cigarettes. And go eat their steak meal they made for themselves with mushrooms on top, with asparagus on the side. Screaming, women's march. Women need to be equal. It's crazy.
You thinking right now, well, I'm a safe person and I want to show Black women that I'm a safe person, so how can I show them that? If you're really worried about Black women's safety, you're focused on creating a safer world for them.
I want princess treatment. I want to be treated like a princess. Ma'am, you drink, smoke, and yell belligerently at strangers. That is not a princess. That is a pirate.
Not on making sure that they know that you're safe, because that's more about how you're feeling about the situation. It sounds a lot like those guys who are coming into women's videos about the 4B movement being like, but I voted Kamala, how about me? Like, this isn't about you.
Same arguments. You see what she said? Oh, you got to go talk to the men and get other men to be like you. That's the problem. Guys, you're not changing somebody's mind. What do they say to all guys, right? That's hard to change somebody's mind on politics. When you're having a discussion, don't bring up politics. Sometimes don't bring up religion. Why? You don't know what someone's going to think. Things go off in a tangent. And it kills rapport. Look what's happening. This whole argument women are having, or liberals are having, is revolved around politics. And they have such a strong stance on it, but your stance makes no sense at all. Your marches make no sense at all. Let's look at one of their marches right here.
Human rights! Women's rights! Human rights! Women's rights! Human rights! Women's rights! Human rights! My body, my choice! My body, my choice!
Women's rights, human's rights. My body, my choice. No. Of course, we don't want to see women hurt, but my body, my choice? they usually either goes for slut walks, right? Women showing their bodies however they want. This is sad, man. They want society to be okay with accepting. They want men to accept. That's what you're doing. You want men to accept Sodom and Gomorrah. You want men to accept this filth that's been happening in society, in schools. That's not okay. But look at this. My body more. Look, let me let him continue.
My hair, my choice. My hair, my choice. Free women in Iran. Free women in Iran. Mullahs out of Iran. Mullahs out of Iran. Free women in Iran. Free women in Iran. Mullahs out of Iran. Mullahs out of Iran.
He proposed to her with a $70,000 engagement ring. But since they broke up, he wants his ring back. Before proposing to her, they traveled the world. I mean, he took this girl all over the world. And one day, when they were in Italy, burned tortillas. I'm still gonna eat them. He bought her a $70,000 ring. And he asked her to marry him. But during the engagement, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And this was no longer fun for her. In fact, at the beginning, she was going to his treatments with him. And then he started to notice that slowly but surely she stopped going to his treatments. And he found this text message on her cell phone. My Bruce is going to be in Connecticut for 3 days. I need me some playtime.
You can't make this shit.
And the other guy that she was texting referred to her as Cupcake. Well, no need to speculate. She was having an affair.
Obviously.
When he broke the engagement, he wanted his ring back. Since we're not going to get married anymore, I want my $70,000 ring back. She said, you gave it to me, so I'm keeping it. And he took her to court, to the Massachusetts Supreme Court. But should she be allowed to keep the ring? And I know what you're going to say. Well, she cheated. Okay, let's put the infidelity aside. Let's pretend for a second that she didn't cheat on him. Should she still keep the $70,000 ring? It was a gift, wasn't it? The highest court in Massachusetts, however, they sided with him. They said, listen, young lady, you got to give the ring back. They made her give the ring back to him. See, I tend to think that the woman should be allowed to keep the ring. But the court saw it as a gift with a condition, meaning it was a promise ring that if she agreed to marry him, she gets to keep the gift. It's a gift with attachment. Do you agree or disagree with the court decision?
Oh, no, I agree. It's like that whenever a wedding ring is given, if you don't get married, the woman's supposed to get that back. Now, that lady, I don't know if she's traditional, but I would say she was thinking about that maybe with a traditional mindset. Maybe she's the kind to get married to a guy, but I don't know. Nowadays, even an old woman is tainted. It's dangerous in the West. As soon as she said, I think she should keep it, I said, whoa, what do you mean you think she should keep it? No, she shouldn't. Especially given the circumstances. She was trying to keep it after she cheated.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen.
My body, my choice. That's what they all saying.
There is no doubt in my mind this would have been the fate of the United States if something had gone differently last week. The UK is now saying they are going to imprison any citizen that views what the government deems to be far-right propaganda online for up to 15 years. I have so so many questions about this, not the least of which is, can you even control what comes up in your algorithm? If something just happens to pop up in your feed, are you doomed to spend more than a dozen years in federal prison?
Right to jail, right away.
Who gets to determine what far-right propaganda is? Because let's be honest, by modern UK standards, every single thing J.K. Rowling posts on X is probably considered far-right propaganda. And is enforcement anything like what we've already seen regarding social media hate speech and misinformation laws? Because I have a pretty strong feeling I know exactly how extreme this is going to get in a very short period of time. Maybe it's time for the West to make Orwell fiction again. You guys okay across the pond? Blink twice if you need help.
No, I mean, it's just a little worse. I hear about them going after even red pill content creators in UK, even more so than here. Yeah, in the East, in UK, over in the East in America, same thing. UK is just a little bit more crazy, and yeah, of course it's not right. I give it 3-4 years. They're going to crack down on everyone. I won't be surprised they start coming for YouTube channels too. I'm waiting for it. I'm kind of prepared for it. I'm expecting it. Seriously. I'm expecting 3-4 years. They're coming after all platforms. So I'm preparing for it.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I used to be one of the most popular female leftist YouTubers in like maybe 2020, 2021, whatever. And a big reason why I took a huge step back from leftist politics and this sort of leftist online sphere is getting comments like this from other fellow leftists. Cope harder, bitch. You literally have white privilege and you only care about your own rights. You made it on the block list. Now, I've never claimed to be a perfect leftist. I have a lot of educating myself to do. I read a lot of books. I do a lot of research on my own time. I don't make as many videos anymore. I don't really engage in a lot of discourse online anymore. But one thing that has always really pissed me off is how deep leftist infighting goes. Even just me posting, telling people to go vote. I'm Canadian, by the way, so like the US election I had no control over. I didn't get to vote for it, like whatever. I encouraged my American followers to go out and vote. That was enough to have leftists in my DMs attacking me, saying I'm supporting genocide. Whether you decided to vote for Kamala, or you decided to vote third party, or you decided to vote for no one at all, that is your choice, and that's a choice that you have to live with. Don't let anyone tell you that they are morally superior to you because they made a different decision than you when you made a decision to the best of your ability with the information you were given. It is so frustrating to see this like moral superiority complex that so many leftists have. And I'm saying this as a leftist because it just causes so much conflict, so much fighting, and so much pointing of fingers and blaming other people. We're on the same side. What happened to productive conversations? We're all fighting for the same end goal at the end of the day. But those conversations don't feel good, right? It feels so much better to just be like, I'm morally superior and you're the problem. I can promise you, you're not getting anywhere and you're not doing what you think you're doing. We need more female leftists speaking out in these spheres, in the mainstream like YouTube and TikTok, and we just don't because they get bullied out of this sphere. That's what you guys are doing. You're bullying us out of this sphere. You're bullying so many really, really outspoken leftists out of the internet and out of the mainstream. It's okay to have hard conversations with each other as leftists, but we have to stop pointing the finger and blaming each other. We need to be unified as a front. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. I would love to make a YouTube video, like a full one, just about like leftist infighting and the dark side of being like a leftist influencer, because you get a lot of hate from both sides, which really sucks.
There you have it. Like, you can tell. I mean, guys know. Like, I know that they have nonsense fights and bicker and, oh, you didn't do this right, and complaining. Now, is it the same on the other side? I'm sure somewhat, but not quite the same. Because what they argue about, when you hear a person, one of them arguing, their point it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Like, a lot of them tend to be Karens out in the street carrying on in Walmart, giving someone a hard time. That's usually the attitude they have.
Imagine being fined $4,000 for not wanting to have a child. That soon may become the reality for those living in Russia. Right now, Russian parliament is working on a law to ban what they're calling propaganda of child-free ideology, which is modeled on a pre-existing law banning LGBT propaganda. MPs from ruling party United Russia say that the promotion of childlessness is a threat to the country's traditional values, which places tremendous importance on having a big family. Earlier this year, Vladimir Putin put improving country's birth rate on top of his priorities.
Семья, где растут трое или больше детей, должна, безусловно, стать нормой, естественным образом жизни.
Russia is facing a demographic crisis. Its birth rate is the lowest it's been in a quarter of a century. At the same time, mortality is on the rise, with no end in sight to the war in Ukraine. And thousands have fled Russia to avoid being conscripted. Those who stay say the political and economic climate does not motivate them to have kids in Russia. A recent study found that 30% have either postponed or changed their opinion of having children. And experts say this ban on child-free propaganda won't help. Instead, it is yet another step in the systematic crackdown on women's rights in Russia, where access to abortion and emergency contraception has already been limited.
I just found out where to send them all to. Send them all to Russia. Send them to Mother Russia. Right? Where they can't have the marches. They may get shot. Let me stop. This video may get taken down. But seriously, we send them to Russia, where they have some real troubles. Something really to complain about, because you can't complain about it. Let them know how it feels, right? To be really held back. You really can't say nothing. You can't talk. You can't do anything. Because that's when they're going to realize those people out there, or those women out there, are going through real hard times. But I don't expect them to get it. And guys already realize in their brains, don't deal with a woman who thinks like that. Don't deal with a liberal woman. Because guys know there's definitely more to life than dealing with somebody like that.